Hello, and welcome to my little corner of the cosmic universe. This is High Priestess Indigo, and I'm back with another read for the collective. I'm going to start with a prayer. I'm going to pull the subconscious cards, and then I'm going to see what deck I'm led to. But first, I'm going to start with a word. I appreciate those who are my subscribers, rocking with me from day one. And I was not in the best energy yesterday when I did my reading. I watched it afterwards and I was like, oh, oh my gosh. I honestly wanted to delete the video, but God would not let me. And when I thought about, you know, the video, and God really brought back to me a memory of something that my grandmother, Cora May, said to me when I was a little child. She would say to me, people have to see you in all seasons, like, so when I saw the video yesterday and I was like, oh, I want to delete this. I feel like I was not in the best of energy. I was tired in a lot of different ways. And when God said no and he brought that conversation from my grandmother back to me, I thought about it. I said, you know what? He's he's God, so obviously he's right. But I thought about it in the sense that I'm going to be on here some days when I'm not feeling my best, when I'm not feeling well, when I'm dealing with things, or I'm battling it against, spiritual warfare, or I'm just exhausted or sick or whatever it is. But I need people to see my humanity. I need people to understand that I too still have my own, you know, spiritual warfare and things that I have to battle with. And yesterday was one of those days when I was kind of in, I guess the best song to sum it up is Kendrick Lamar, and the song is called Feel. And yeah, so I was having one of those days yesterday where it's like, and he talks about it in the song where you feel like you're suspicious of people around you. You feel like nobody's praying for you. You feel like you don't have any support. And I am really focused on that more from the standpoint of, it's really tough when you are a light worker in this world and you realize that the 99% of the people that you know or that are in your life always need something from you, and you don't meet a lot of people that genuinely pour back into you. So you just have those days where it's like constant phone calls, constant text messages, constant people reaching out, but it's because it's people in need. And I have had to learn over the years to put in strong boundaries and, like, obviously protect my energy and turn people away. But it doesn't always feel good to do so, and it doesn't always feel good for me to have to set strong boundaries with people. But it's part of my spiritual hygiene. It's part of my self-care, because you know people are have a tendency to be very self-motivated, and so people will tap on you and they will pull energy and they will deplete you if you let them. So yesterday was just one of my days where I was just exhausted of people needing me in a certain way. So if you watched the video and you thought I seemed low in spirits, I was indeed low in spirits. But I just had to kind of put that out there, that I'm not gonna, edit those videos, or I'm not gonna not upload them, because there's still a message for somebody. But I am gonna be authentic, and you're gonna see that I'm not always in the happiest of spirits. I'm not always up. Sometimes I deal with things, and sometimes, I'm a human. I'm a spiritual being having a human experience. And on some days, I allow myself my humanity. So, anyways, that's just my little TED talk. I'm going to go ahead and start the prayer. Almighty God, I thank you. Please allow me to be a clear portal and a clear channel for your Holy Spirit and your divine will. God, I ask that you bless each and every person that comes across this video. You know who they are and where they are on their journey and what they need. And God, I ask that you bind and return to sender any and all negative energy, negative entities, evil eye, projections, spell work, black magic, dark magic, anything that is not of your purest and highest divine light. These things I ask in Jesus' name. Amen. And it's almost Christmas on my side of the world. So I hope you are preparing for fantastic time with your family. And if it's not your family of origin, then I hope it's your family of choice. So, ooh, let's see what we got going on here. Yeah. I've experienced over the years, like people will try to make you feel some type of way for not, you know, being available to people energetically, but you have a divine right to be very self-protective of your energy, and you have a divine right to show up in whatever mood you're in. You have to be authentic to your emotions, otherwise you suppressing yourself, and that just leads to um trapped energy that just manifests in the wrong way. So we got a blockage of the sacral chakra, challenges with creativity, sexuality, and emotional expression. And I'm picking up a masculine and a bit of and some feminine energy here too. Address wounds of anger and resentment, harboring deep-seated anger or resentment towards others, oneself, or a higher power, which can prevent healing and spiritual growth. Stagnancy caused by perfectionism mindset, the compulsive need to achieve flawless outcomes, often driven by a fear of criticism or failure. Let's see. Needing to address inner peace obstruction, the hindrance or blockage that prevents an individual from experiencing a profound sense of tranquility, harmony, and serenity within themselves, often resulting in ongoing inner turmoil, restlessness, or emotional unrest. Then we have wounds from the family of origin, childhood traumas, neglect or dysfunctional family dynamics that impacts one's psychological well-being. Needing to address spiritual clarity confusion, a state of uncertainty or lack of clear understanding regarding one's spiritual path, beliefs, or experiences. And then the Holy Spirit gave me an extra card this time, a blockage of the solar plexus chakra, difficulties in personal power, self-esteem, and confidence. So with the subconscious cards, they can be past or present, what this person needs to heal or has already healed. And I'm being led to the graffiti deck. These out the way. Okay. All right. Let's see what we got going on in the energy today. First card out, mechanical. Homelessness. Oh boy. Work addict. Hypnotic. Financially using you. Ponzi scheme. Walkaway partner syndrome. Gold digger. Oh yeah. Triggered. YOLO. Family issues. Rumor monger. Full of air. Legal matters. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and start this reading. So now I see why I'm picking up some of this feminine energy. Whew. This is a reading for a karmic masculine. A karmic masculine who is currently going through a lot of emotional instability. This is somebody who is Their energy is feeling very heavy. This somebody is really going through. This masculine energy is currently facing well, he could actually be also facing 3D homelessness, because I'm getting the sense that this karmic feminine that he's attached to is taking him through pure D hell. And I feel almost very clearly she is asking, or not asking, that's too nice of a word. She's putting this man out of their family home. I feel like if they share a home together, she's putting him out. It's giving me the feeling of the kind of person that, like, all of his stuff is out on the lawn and it's just thrown. It's like she threw it out of the house and she just left it in a big old pile on the front lawn for the neighbors to look at, and it's very embarrassing. I just get this is part of what I'm getting. But mostly, this masculine energy is going through a form of homelessness mentally and emotionally. This is somebody who, their foundation, their emotional foundation, is completely broken, is completely crumbled. This person does not have a good sense of themselves right now. Because I feel like, whoever this masculine energy is, this is somebody that kind of built his self esteem and his self worth based off of a Ponzi scheme. So basically, this person's self esteem and this person's self worth was not originating from them. So it's kind of giving me the sense of somebody that might have been a narcissist, or even if he wasn't a narcissist, he was very low vibrational energetically because he hadn't done any work on himself. And so now it's kind of giving me the feeling of like the rug is being pulled from underneath this masculine energy. And so he's just kind of falling apart in a certain sense, because all the things that he felt like made him him, and I'm getting this, like, this was somebody that worked a lot, so their sense of identity could have been tied into them being, this kind of guy that works, that makes a certain kind of money. You see this a lot with, like, I call these like the executives who are like, these high powered jobs. They might be CEOs of like major corporations, and then they suddenly like get laid off or they lose their job, and then they kind of like become depressed and despondent because so much of their, identity of who they are as a person and as a man is tied into them being in that particular job position or in that place of power. So this is giving me also the sense of somebody that has fallen from grace. You know, is I'm getting like the very real feeling of somebody that might have been in emperor status in a certain respect, and now they're kind of being demoted. Like, this is really giving me this kind of energy of somebody that had a certain particular ranking, maybe spiritually or in the 3D, and now they've lost that ranking, and it's really just got them really kind of lost to the point that they really feel hypnotic. This they feel like they can't think for themselves. They feel like they don't know who they are. They don't know where to start. They don't really, yeah, this person really just doesn't know who they are. And like I said, all the things that they had tied into their identity are now being stripped from them. So it really gives me the idea that this person might be going through the karmic judgment, or karmic debt and divine judgment. Let me say that right. This is also somebody that is realizing, and this really goes hand in hand with this kind of like work addict idea of this masculine energy, who might have been of a certain rank in a certain lifestyle or maybe a certain position in life, because this is somebody who is now discovering that the karmic feminine that they were in a, and I'm getting very sense that very clearly in the true sense that this was somebody that they were married to, but now that they're being kind of like they've lost this position, they've lost the money and the accolades that come with it, they're finding out that the person that they were with was really truly a gold digger, that they were only there for what this person could basically provide for them. Or, yeah, if this was a, like I said, if this was the case of an emperor, spiritually, energetically, now that this person is no longer considered an emperor, basically this karmic feminine does not want this masculine anymore, because now, without his ranking or his money or his, wealth or abundance, she now is revealing her true self, which is she was only really there for the things that this person could do for her, the life that he could provide for her. So he is really going through, because not only is he, like basically losing his career, losing his ranking, losing his status within the community, within, his own life. But now he's finding out the person was that he thought would be in his corner as his spouse is actually just a gold digger. And now that he doesn't have the things, he's understanding that this person was just financially using him the whole time. So this person is right now, like I said, they're sitting in this homeless energy, but they're also very triggered. You know, they're very triggered because I feel very clearly that this karmic feminine is, she, like I said, she's asked them to leave their place of residence. Like she could literally be kicking them out of the home they shared. It could have been his own house, but I'm just getting the sense that, like I say, now that he's not this big hotshot anymore, this karmic feminine has, like, basically, the saying goes, as the lights turned on and the roaches scattered, the light is on. This karmic masculine's truth is has been revealed. Maybe, like I said, is I'm getting a couple different scenarios. I'm getting the guy with the money and the job, but I'm also getting the guy who was ranked as an emperor, who has now been stripped of that title. He was supposed to be a divine masculine, an emperor, a high priest, and for what feels like karmic reasons, he decided not to ascend. And so he's been stripped of that. And like I said, this karmic feminine has turned on him so fast that his head is spinning. And this is somebody who is currently, this karmic masculine is currently sitting in the energy of this walk away partner syndrome. He feels neglected and resentful, left with responsibilities, feels alone in relationship. But I feel like this person really is feeling alone in life. And I'm really getting the feeling that this is karmic debt. This is a result of this person choosing not to grow. I'm just getting the sense that this was somebody that was very outwardly focused. Like I said, they derived their sense of self from what people thought of them, for how people uplifted them. But this is somebody who built their self up off of other people's praises. And as they always say, the problem with building yourself up off of external validation is when that external validation leaves, that's the very same thing that destroys you and crumbles you as a person. So this person is really going through a kind of shattering, a fall from grace in that sense, because, like I said, this person's entire sense of self was built off of a pyramid, you know, and a Ponzi scheme is like a pyramid scheme. They're all the same in that sense. So this person's self worth was external to them. And now they're realizing that a lot of the people that they had in their lives were just full of hot air. These are people that I feel like when he was on top, they offered him support. They rallied around him. They were praising him. They were uplifting him. And it's really kind of went to this masculine's head. This is part of why this person is coming through a bit as a con artist. But I'm not getting it in the traditional sense of a con artist where they like deliberately trying to con people. But I just get it in the sense that this person's self esteem was so low that they needed those external validations, and it really like gassed them up and inflated them in a way that was artificial. And now that they're losing all of that, like I said, this is somebody who is now in this homeless mental energy because he built himself up off of those accolades, off of that, you know, praise and that kind of worship. I feel like that this person was getting, but it was based off of superficial things. It was basically based off of what this man could do for people. It was based off of, when he was on top and he had money and he was, jet setting and, big cars and big watches, these people wanted to be around him because, it's like the saying, like, people become hanger-ons to famous people because of like the wide light that they cast, like people who are famous cast a wide light, and if you're associated with those people, you kind of become semi-famous, in a certain sense, because they have such a wide light that shines over anybody that's near them. And like I said, this person is realizing that a lot of people around him were nothing more than full of air. They were hanger-ons, they were groupies in a certain sense. And now that this person doesn't have this position or this title or this money, all of these people are suddenly going poof into thin air. As a matter of fact, this karmic masculine is currently going through legal matters. And like I said, as it relates to these family issues with this karmic feminine that they've been attached to. This is somebody who I feel very clearly what little money they do have left. This karmic feminine in her gold digger ways is trying to strip this masculine energy of everything. So whatever little bit he has left or whatever he saved, like this is somebody who is now finding out that, like I said, he's not only finding out that the person that he thought was going to be in his corner is a gold digger, but now she's trying to clean him out financially, emotionally, spiritually, energetically, you name it. Any way that she feel like she can clean this masculine energy out, she's trying to do it. This is somebody who is also being subjected to gossip and rumors because I feel very clearly the truth is kind of out there in the sense that I feel like it's kind of being talked about in his family and friend groups that, about his demotion and his kind of fall from grace, or he not being as wealthy or as, financially, stable as he used to be. And so it's like just making him feel worse because, I feel like people are coming to him and asking him, like, what happened? Like, what's going on with you? And this is somebody who, like I said, they're not in the best of energy in the sense that they haven't been able to make sense of themselves and how they feel because this is somebody whose sense of self is completely destroyed right now. This is somebody that is very triggered in every way possible. And so to even try to talk about it to friends, it's just triggering this person even more because they don't have any answers. This is somebody who is trying to appear unbothered. They're coming across mechanical and trying to be very logical and approach things from a logical standpoint of view. But what I'm really getting in is this is somebody that is literally falling apart. And me starting this read by talking about my own experience of like the Kendrick Lamar Feel song. This is somebody that is actually really, that song really applies to this masculine energy right now too. This is somebody that feels like nobody's praying for them. You know, who's praying for me? He feel like the family's been faking. He feels like his thoughts are jaded and compromised. He's like questioning every single person around him. I have to see if I can read some of the lyrics because I feel like there's such a, you know, it's very tied to, I started off not even thinking that this song would come back up in the read itself, but this is very relevant. Yeah, so he starts the song off by saying, "Ain't nobody praying for me." And it's something that he says repetitively. And then he starts with, I feel like a chip on my shoulders. I feel like I'm losing my focus. I feel like I'm losing my patience. I feel like my thoughts in the basement. I feel like you're miseducated. Feel like I don't want to be bothered. I feel like you may be the problem. I feel like it ain't no tomorrow. F the world. The world is ending. I'm done pretending. And F you if you get offended. I feel like friends been overrated. I feel like the family's been faking. I feel like the feelings are changing. I feel like my daughter compromised and jaded. Feel like you want to scrutinize how I made it. Feel like I ain't feeling you all. Feel like removing myself, no feelings involved. I feel for you. I've been in the field for you. It's real for you, right? But ain't nobody praying for me. So that's how I was feeling yesterday. myself. And now this is coming out in this read with this masculine energy literally feeling like this because, like I said, when he was on top, everybody was around. These were the, this was the guy that everybody was calling constantly, inviting him to events and parties. And, they wanted him to be around. And, they're asking his opinion. What did he think of this? So this person really got used to being needed in that certain kind of way where, like I said, this person didn't even realize that they were building their self-worth off of feeling you know powerful in this kind of way, but people really were kind of putting this masculine energy on a bit of a pedestal. In that, like I said, they were very attractive to the things that he had and the things that he could provide other people. And now that he does not have this, all of the support and all of the love and all the accolades have just completely dried up. And if your self esteem is built off of that, then there goes your self esteem too. And that's what's happening to this karmic masculine. This is somebody, who I feel like when he was on top, they didn't spend a lot of time really working on themselves, because this is somebody who is coming through that these subconscious wounds are very present right now. This is somebody that is struggling to find inner peace. This is somebody that has had a perfectionism mindset. This is somebody that is sitting in a lot of anger or resentment. This is somebody that's going through blockages of their sacral chakra and their solar plexus chakra. They're having to deal with trauma and childhood wounds from the past. And then to add on top of that, this person is going through the spiritual clarity confusion because this person is literally going through an ego death. And they're under karmic judgment and or karmic debt, and they're finding themselves under divine judgment because this is somebody who was living their life in this YOLO energy. And so, as long as other people were kind of like celebrating them and making them feel good, this person didn't really see the merits in working on themselves. So really what was happening was people were propping this person up, their self-esteem and their sense of self-worth and their energy, because these were people that were feeding into this. They were really kind of like feeding the beast, so to speak. And so this person never had to actually work on themselves because it was so many other people like really kind of pouring into this person based off of their position as an emperor, based off of their position in the 3D as this boss daddy energy of, the type of car, the money, the flash, and they really kind of did this guy a disservice because now that all of that is coming to a halt, this person is just lost. They're really lost. And now they're understanding that they have no sense of self to go back to because all of their sense of self was tied to their money. It was tied to their image. It was tied to what people thought of them. It was tied to, however many women they could get or how many ever, sexual partners they could get. And so everything, this person is having to sit with the realization that everything in this person's life was built off of superficial outer stuff, and this person's internal self was completely neglected. So this is somebody that has not been in touch with their inner child, period, ever. I mean, maybe they haven't seen their inner child since they were a child. This is somebody who is starting to understand that they haven't really shown up in the world as the best kind of person because they've never had to think about being a good person, because as long as they've had, all of the trappings of life, people really didn't care. I hate to say it, but people really didn't care if this person showed up as a nice person. And he really suffered from that thing that I feel like people do with rich people. People make assumptions. They associate things with rich people that has nothing to do with the actual person. Like, is this hero worship of rich people? Is this kind of like idolization that happens with people that have money, that people are willing to, turn into yes men, and they're willing to enable bad behavior because this person has money. And so this is where this person is finding themselves, where, they probably honestly was not the best person. Is really giving me that energy very strongly, that this is somebody that could be a bit cruel, They come across controlling, because this is giving me very much an alpha male type of energy, where this is somebody that was able to dictate to other people who, who they needed to be or how he wanted them to be. And people took it because, well, he had a position of power, he had, this money, or he knew people that they wanted to know. He was in, with all of the, he knew all the right people. And so people really excused a lot of behavior that, let's just be clear, if this person wasn't in that position of power, they would have found him intolerable if he wasn't. So that's what's happening now, is now that he's not in this position of power, he's not in this position of wealth. And I just saw 30 on the timer for confirmation. Now that he's not in this position of power anymore, people just see this person as intolerable. And so, like, all of those, you know, good things have kind of turned on this person, honestly. Yeah, this is a person who is being subjected to destructive forces. And I feel very clearly it's the destructive forces that's showing up in this person's life is karma. You know, like I said, this is somebody that is having to deal with the karma of how they were showing up in the world. And, I'm feeling very clearly this is somebody that's going through tower moment after tower moment. So their whole life and their whole image of themselves, like I said, it is crumbling and it is burning down right before this person's eyes. It's like that saying, Rome is burning. Yeah, this person's Rome is burning, is what's happening. And this person is having to literally watch that. Like I said, this is somebody who the karmic feminine that they were married to is, they're realizing like she was beautiful on the outside. And it's kind of giving me the image of a trophy wife, somebody that was very attractive, very beautiful. They looked great on this masculine's arm. They helped complete this nice little, family picture of this person having it all together. But the person in reality was just clickbait. They were just a thirst trap. They were just a gold digger. They had no substance to them, because honestly, underneath all of the money and the position and the um accolades, this masculine energy was not, he was just as superficial too in a lot of ways. Because like I said, this is somebody that was not working on themselves because they never had to, because people were so busy propping this person up. This is somebody who is trying, and I feel like he's trying not to feel this way, but this is somebody that is feeling very salty. They're feeling salty because they're feeling betrayed by their life. They're feeling betrayed, you know, by the people that they thought were going to be their supporters and that were their true friends. Because, like I said, this person is discovering that all these people around, they all had a reason to be around. Like almost every single person. Very much in keeping with, like I said, when I started this read, I would have never thought there would be so many overlaps. Where when you realize that most of the people in your life, including family, they need you to provide something for them. Like, and so it kind of starts making you feel like, how many people are here just because they actually genuinely love me? Or is it because of my high vibrational energy? Is it, because I can pour into people and I can alchemize and I can help people heal? And then people come and they just kind of like, you know, they dump their troubles on you and then they take your energy. And so this person is kind of feeling somewhat of that, where in his case, it wasn't his energy. I mean, it was to a certain extent, but it really does feel like it was more so this person's position in life, this person's status. And like I said, now he understands that a lot of people were just around because of his status. This is somebody that is feeling very, they're really beating themselves up. This is somebody that feels naive romantically, because they're feeling like, how could they have allowed themselves to basically marry a gold digger? Somebody that never really truly cared a love for them, but was just there to get their resources and their money. Because this is somebody that I get the sense this masculine energy prides himself on being a good judge of character, a good, being able to read people. But this is somebody, but like I said, because they didn't have a good solid sense of themselves, and it was built off of what other people thought of them. When your sense of self is external, you can, find yourself getting caught out by people who are clickbait and gold diggers, because, you know, I hate to say it, but gold diggers and thirst trap and Jezebel energies really know how to flatter masculine energies, egos. When you're not a true emperor, when you're not in your true divine masculine, or you're not in your true high priest energy, you become, you're subjected to, or you're susceptible, I guess is probably the better word. You're susceptible to falling prey to women like this gold digger or Jezebels, because you have wounding and you have trauma. And so those things kind of like allow the Jezebel or this gold digger energy to kind of come in, and they can see your weaknesses, and then they just know, oh, this is somebody that needs to be validated. This is somebody that needs to feel like they're in control. This is somebody that needs to have their ego propped up. So that's what she does. And she plays that game. And as long as this person's feeding that ego, because and they're doing it because they're underneath that, there's something that they want out of the situation. So that's what this person was doing. And this person was sad because they thought they were getting a starter wife. They thought they had somebody that was going to be there through thick and thin, only to realize that as soon as the tough, like as I said, as soon as the tough got going, this person split on them. So at the first sign of like, and it's giving me the sense that this masculine energy had, like, for a very long time, he's always been like in this position of power. He's always, when he met this karmic feminine, he was in this position of power. He was in this abundance. He was in this wealth. And so, you know, he just didn't understand that that was the only reason why this person was there. But honestly, he really did think that he was getting somebody supportive. But as soon as, I mean, and like I said, the whole time he was doing well. So she never got to see him in all 4 seasons. He never got to see her in all 4 seasons. And now that he's going through a season of lack and a season of like where he's not abundant, at the first sign of trouble, this karmic feminist basically split on him. She abandoned him, which is why he's sitting in this walkaway partner syndrome energy. Because I mean, it's like kind of that feeling of like you're with somebody, and the first time you have a disagreement or argument in a relationship, the person breaks up with you and they're gone and they ghost you. This is what this kind of masculine energy is kind of sitting with, which is why he's so triggered and he's feeling so homeless mentally, because he would have never thought that all these people, all of these family, all these friends would skedaddle on him so fast. I mean, the minute that wheel of fortune changed for him and he was down on the downside of that wheel, like I said, the light turned on and the roaches scattered. So this is somebody that is literally sitting in the energy of just kind of, like I said, they're feeling salty. They're feeling salty because, like I said, they would have never thought that, so many people in their lives were literally only around for what this person could do for them, you know. But then it's like this person is also realizing that they had not developed a good sense of themselves. So honestly, they were leading, you know, with the wealth, with the status, with the position. And so whether this person, really fully realizes it or not, but I feel like this is something that this person is having to sit and think about, is that they, when they approach people and they use the status, they use the money, they use the wealth or the abundance or the spiritual energy, they use that almost as a calling card to try to attract people in. And so the only people you attract with money and wealth and status is gold diggers, unfortunately. And this person is having to really understand this, that people that truly genuinely value you and care about you don't really care about your money. They care about if you're a good person. They care about how you treat them. They care about how you show up in the world. And so this person is really understanding that. And it is really it's hurting them. And this is why this salty energy is showing up, because I feel like they're trying not to be bitter and resentful, but a big part of them is. And then a part of them is also realizing that, they're responsible for, people feeling so comfortable to have used them for their money or their energy or their abundance or their status, because that's what they led to try to draw people in, to attract people to them, because this is somebody whose sense of self was never developed. So they didn't know to attract people from, like, let me be authentically myself. Let me show up in the world as truly myself. And then people like me for that person. This person was leading with all of the trappings. And unfortunately, they were just traps. Yeah, this is somebody that is cursing themselves. And they're dealing with mental health issues. Like, because this is literally mind blowing to this person. This person, when I tell you, like, their mental headspace is not good right now. They're having to sit and deal with all this on top of the karmic debt, on top of the divine judgment, on top of them realizing that they've been, a liar in a lot of ways, because what they've really been doing is they've been copying people. They've been sorry. Like I said, there's this person that's showing up in a lot of ways as a narcissist, because they didn't have a true sense of self. And so the sense of self they had was like, a facsimile of other people who were good people, who were high vibrational, who were authentic, and so they were lying to themselves, first and foremost, and they were lying to other people because their sense of self was just not developed. This is somebody that is realizing that, they were actually easily influenced. That they were, they showed up in the world as though they were a leader, but this was somebody that was easily led, and I'm getting the sense that this person was also easily manipulated, which is why he fell prey to this gold digger. Whew, this is tough. Right now, the same people that were there to celebrate this masculine energy when he was on top, when he was in what they considered an emperor status, when he was high vibrational, but it was more off of this person feeding off of the energy of those that propped him up artificially. These same people that were like, yeah, bro, we got you, yeah, like that, they clamored to be around him. These are the same people that are now doing disappearing acts on this masculine energy, and they're leaving him on red. So now he's like trying to go through, he's going through, like, this is the kind of guy that's like going through his Rolodex. It's giving me the scene from Jerry Maguire with I'm not laughing at this person. I'm just laughing at, like, the image of Jerry Maguire. Like when he did his whole manifesto, and then he basically got fired from his job, this high paying, affluent job, and then he started calling all of his clients, and how one by one, his clients were just disappearing on him and leaving him on red. And the only person he managed to really get through and actually talk to was the Cuba Gooding Jr.'s character. This is what's happening to this masculine energy right now, is that all those same people that when he was on top that were like, oh yeah, but honestly, I'm getting the sense that a lot of those people, like I said, when he was on top and he could provide that image and that lifestyle and that status, a lot of these people didn't like this masculine. Like I said, he was not a good person, but as long as they could use him, they're around. And now that he is not the guy that he used to be in terms of status or money or wealth, nowhere to be found. This is somebody who is, I'm getting the sense is trying to numb themselves a little bit here. And they could be doing it in a very unhealthy way, because I'm getting like this person might be, that sacral chakra might, that blockage might be because this person might be overcompensating in the sexual department to try to make themselves feel better. Like, I feel like this person, oh yeah, my eyes twitching. This person is definitely overusing this sacral chakra right now, which is why this person's sacral energy is being blocked. But it's because this person is basically, I hate to say, they're using their sacral energy right now, or was using their sacral energy to try to make themselves feel better. And this was part of the addictive numbing So this person basically fell into addictive behavior patterns in the sense that this person engaged in like low vibrational sex with people, but that was to try to make themselves feel better. But I'm really getting the sense that all it did was push this person further to their homelessness issue, mental and emotional homelessness, because even the people that they were just trying to, be promiscuous with, those people are also still just using them. And I'm getting a little bit of that pay for play action where this person flashed money, because this person, like, it's an ingrained habit for this person to want to like lead with the money and the status and the, you know high vibrational energy that they were flossing in. Really, they were fake flexing in. And so the people that were even low vibrational have just like basically snatched and stole money from this person in that sense, and then discarded him afterwards, because I mean, that's all they're there for. They're just there for a good time, not a long time. So this person has got like a lot of different issues going on simultaneously. But the biggest thing this person really has to do for themselves is, you're in the thick of it. You're in the ego death. You're in the fall from grace. You're in the, self-sabotaging, destructive, tower moments. First and foremost, stop with the low vibrational sex. It's not gonna make you feel better. Stop with the drinking and the, low vibrational frequency habits. They're just gonna contribute to you feeling worse. They're just gonna make you feel even more salty and resentful. You know, I'm just saying, like, if you want to feel better, engaging in this kind of stuff is not gonna make you feel better. Because I'm really getting the sense you just have bad coping mechanisms. Like I said, you haven't really developed healthy coping mechanisms. So you're somebody who could really, and then especially with the homelessness, the mental health issues coming out, you really need to find you a good therapist, because I feel like if you don't find you some kind of healthy outlet, I mean, even if you go to Coda, or you go to, Sex Addicts Anonymous, or you go to any of the, 12 step programs, they're free. They're countrywide, they're worldwide, they're free. They're anonymous. So you don't even have to share your real name if you don't want to. You just need to go somewhere where you can talk to people, where you can be among people who are also, dealing with some of the same issues you're dealing with in terms of this self worth. I say Coda because, there's, with this, the way you were living and your sense of self being based off of external validation, it tells me that you've had a lot of codependency on others. And Coda is a really good place to go when you have been strung up in the world as codependent on others. And it really is a fantastic 12 step program. I will never not tout, you know, therapy and programs. They do work. If you work them, they work. So, but you really need good therapy. You also really need to develop a relationship with the Most High God, because that's what you're missing. What you're really looking for, and what you've been trying to get out of others, or what you really need in this moment, is something that only God can give you. I really have to be honest. Only you and God can give yourself this, literally. Now you have to find the strength. Even though your world is falling apart, I know it sounds crazy, but it's almost for the best that it's falling apart, because who you were wasn't built on a strong foundation. How you were in the world before was to your detriment. So now, honestly, you have an opportunity to start from ground up and start from scratch and build yourself into the kind of person that you've always wanted to be. Not pretend to be, but actually become that person, and start from the ground up and build yourself back up. But this time on a strong, real foundation, one that's stable, one that won't crumble when, other people don't see you as this emperor, wealthy, financially, stable person, or this person with money and accolades and position and wealth and knowing hobnobbing with celebrities. There has to be a you that exists, that is just for you, that doesn't matter what other people think, doesn't. One of the best pieces of advice I ever heard, it was by an artist, a singer songwriter that I truly love. One of my favorite singer songwriters is Van Hunt. And he had posted something about a conversation he had with his son. He had posted it on social media one day. And this was like fairly early into my spiritual journey. And he was saying, what other people think of you is none of your business. And I remember thinking, like, what? But then when I sat with it and I kept repeating it, what other people think of you is none of your business. I realized how powerful of a life lesson that is. What other people think of you should be of no importance. What you think of you, what the Most High God thinks of you, is the only two opinions in this life or any life that matter. If you cannot look at yourself in the mirror and like the person that you see, you have the opportunity to change that person at any moment. That's the beauty of being able to be a co-creator with the Most High God, is you get to show up in the world as this new version of you, one that you like. And then two, you want obviously the opinion of the Most High, because he is the high God. He is the divine judge over all of us, so you want to be showing up in the world not only as a person you like, but as somebody that the Most High would say, yes, well done, good and faithful servant. So that's where you have to get to, and it's going to take a lot of work. But now you've been given a clean slate to start from ground up and really come back and show up as the person you really want to be, not the person that caters to what other people want, and that is just a source of almost like a proverbial, ATM for other people, where people just take your resources and things from you, but they don't actually care about you as a person. So this is an opportunity to start fresh. You don't like the person you were before. You're allowed to change that at any moment. And any day you wake up and you are not happy with the person you see, you get to start. Every day is a whole brand new day to show up as a brand new version of yourself. It's up to you, you know. It's up to you. But yeah, where you are is tough, because now you're realizing that all the things that made you you were very superficial things. And now you have to build a new you that is built off the intangible things, the things that money can't buy: peace, happiness, joy, authenticity, being who you truly are. And that takes some work. You have to spend some time discovering who that is. And that means letting go of who you're not. So I hope this helps you, whoever you are, masculine energy. But that is the message. Be blessed.